Hello students, welcome to the University of Strathclyde session where we have Sherry Fan, who is our international recruitment officer for UK International, and we have Alexandra Bodner, who is our student ambassador as well. So they will talk to us about any scholarships or any courses, any important information about Strathclyde in this session. Can I please request everybody to please mute their mics, and when the presentation is done, we can just take your questions then. Thank you so much.
Okay, I think I'm sharing my desktop. Okay. And then that's it. Okay, can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Well, thank you. I can see some people have not muted yourself, just in case there might be some signal conflicting. So if you could mute yourself, that would be great. Great. So, well, thanks again for SI UK for this opportunity, and lovely to see everybody from, I presume, all over the world, because I had a look at the registration list. It looks like the nationality is very much spread, which is really great. To see that so many people are interested. And so, like Shagun has said, so I'm the international officer for Strathclyde University, and I'm very happy to also have Alexandra today with me as well, who she is actually our student at the moment, current student at the moment for year 3 for psychology. Sorry, for computer science. Sorry, I don't know what I'm thinking in my head. Yeah, so, I basically will be doing a very short presentation just to give you an idea of what Strathclyde is like and what kind of courses we offer, and then, the general information about Strathclyde. And then I'll be later on, I'll welcome all of you to ask many questions as you want in any specifically to do with any of the student study experience, because I have Alexandra here today, so I'm sure she'll be sharing all her invaluable experience with you guys. So I always like to start with what Strathclyde mean, because I've been to so many fairs, physical and the virtual ones. I've found a lot of students just look at the name and then feel very reluctant to read it out because they don't know how to read it. So just a little tip, like, for what does that mean. So Strathclyde, Strath is is Scottish word for meaning is valley, and then the Clyde is the river, the name of the river that runs through Glasgow. That's also where our university is. So that's what it means. Hopefully that makes more sense to you and is more related rather than just a name that's difficult to pronounce. And we are actually for Strathclyde University. I know probably people haven't heard of it, but we actually are not. We're a very old university. We had over 250 years history, so believe it or not. And we're also Scotland's 3rd largest university with 30,000 students from all over the world. I think in terms of international students, we have about 20%, which is a really, really good proportion for international students. Business school had it's a largest notice, and then it's got a lot of.
Are you?
Sorry, I think someone.
What? Okay.
Sorry, just a gentle reminder if we could just mute your mic. Thank you. So, and then the business school, obviously, it's got a lot of great rankings for its course, and also as a business school on its own, and because it's one of the top 10 business school in the UK. I'll talk more about it in a minute. And also, I'm sure there are people who are ranking oriented, which is fine, there's no problem at all. And then for ranking this year, we have, I need to update that, but because a new league table has just come out, I think the last week. We did really well. On the Daily Mail. We're number 8 in the Daily Mail, and also the QS ranking, we're ranked 264, I believe. And then, but we did very well in a lot of other rankings. But also, we won the Scottish of the Year again this year, and also we have loads incredible course rankings, which again, when I talk about faculties later on, I'll let you know. And the last thing I think I would like to mention is the Strathclyde. It's the tradition for useful learning, which is implemented in all of the courses that we offer. I'm sure Alexandra will have more to say regarding this as well. But just because of this, so all the course, when we design the courses, so we make sure that the knowledge are applicable to, you know, and then you can apply it to after you've graduated into your own a job, basically, rather than just like some theory lectures, and then you can be just taken away or get forgotten, you know, quickly. So yeah, that's why our courses are very practical, and it's a great skill that students could have, and then, you know, especially after you graduated and when you go to the job market. And where's my mouse? Okay, here. So we do have some famous alumni, but I don't know, if you know, but I think the famous one would be John Logie Baird, who is actually the inventor of the television. But although I don't know how many people are still watching TV now. I mean, I don't watch it that much at all, like, because, you know, the shift for technology. But anyway, it was a big thing in the history. And then the John, he was actually one of our alumni. And then we also have, I'm not going to read them all out, but we also have Muzan, who is the, you know, the chief executive of Foster, but also he is the lead architect of the new Wimbledon Stadium, but also the Chinese, the Beijing Airport Terminal 3 and the Hong Kong International Airport. Yeah. Again, for the rankings, I think I've mentioned some of them, but so we have the top 10 or top 5, depends on which ranking you're looking at the business school, and also our business school is triple accredited. So what does a triple accreditation mean? So basically there are only 108 or just over 100 business schools in the world that's got this triple accreditation. So any business school's got this triple accreditation means it's a great business school, because it's very hard to get, and it's also very difficult to maintain this accreditation. And again, we have loads and loads and awards, and I'm not gonna, you know, just gonna read them all. You can see in your own eyes. But I do want to mention the last one, which is the student experience, because I think we jumped quite a lot from the year before, and then ended up to number 7 in the UK. And then this is got a lot to do with the campus investment. So that's the investment we put on the buildings, not just the buildings, but also, you know, the research, the academic quality, and everything, because everything costs money. And then so that what we like to do is we put the money back into making sure our students have the best experience ever in their life, just to make so basically come from the student, and we use it on the students. And then so as you can see on the top right, and it says the brand new, keep saying brand new because it feels brand new to me, but it was opened up in November 2018. I remember it very clearly because that's the month I started my job. Yeah, and so that's why I keep saying it's brand new, because it was brand new at the time I started the job. But still, I mean, everything inside it's just great, and it's new, and they've got the newest technology with the machines, and you got different areas, the weight areas, and then the conditioning suite. And it also up top of the floor, so you get like badminton, and you can play badminton, basketball, volleyball, and also the downstairs you have the dance studio, obviously, and then they play squash, and also we have a swimming pool. I think the only thing that's missing is the football pitch, but because we are city center located, it's a bit difficult to have a football pitch that big right in the city center, right? So yeah, but we do have student club who, you know, football clubs and all different sorts of clubs there where you can play football if you wish. And then the picture in the middle, that's called the Technology and Innovation Center. This is the co-location for academia and students, and also employers. Yeah, so people from the industry. Again, that echoes back to what I just said. You know, Strathclyde is a place for useful learning. So useful learning is basically we're connecting all the people together to create a great environment for students while they're studying here, and also prepare their path to get out of the uni and get to the job market. Yeah, so that's basically what the building is for. And then we have events, and then we have career fairs event that will be holding in there. And then sometimes we'll have some academic conference I'll be holding there as well. So yeah, so that's basically what that building is mainly for. And this building was actually opened up by the Queen. If you're interested, but you can Google it. You can Google it, the technology and innovations. And so TIC in Strathclyde Uni, and then you'll be able to see the video when she and Philip came here and opened up this building. Yeah. Library, it's not on the picture, but the library is completely done now. So the scaffolding has just been taken off, and then you can see it's the whole building is being renovated. So I'm not going to go into too much details, but I think so basically it's just a library, and then we have different levels of areas. There's quiet, which is for study, for for group seminar studies, and so it's whatever your needs is, we have a place for you to suit your needs. And the last one is the learning and teaching building, which is the newest building in the uni, which was opened up actually within the pandemic. So it's actually been, oh gosh, it's been 2 years now. Oh, how time flies. My goodness. But so this is learning and teaching building. So you do have in this building, you have your student union in there, and you also have like a lot of open areas for a study and for students to just have a chat and also have a lunch if you want. And then also our student help desk is located in that building, but also my office is located in that building as well. So it's, again, it's a co-location, but a lot of students are using that building. And here, if you can see, so this is actually the building for the learning and teaching. So, and then so there is a massive green area. So we've only just we've just acquired the ownership of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to be making it make it pedestrian. We're going to pedestrianize it, and then we make more green spaces, and then the seats and everything for students to sit down, but also just to connect it with the city. And there probably will be a garden as well, so some walkways. So it will be a nice place for students, not just for students, for locals, and then just a location for everyone to use. But we've acquired ownership of it. I've mentioned some of its location. We are city center based, which means everything is close, very, very close together. If you can see the picture on the bottom left, yeah, this is the George Square, and then so George Square to Glasgow is the center of Glasgow. So as you can see, this building is actually the Glasgow City Council, and then it's if you walk, this is a George Street, and if you walk down, that's all the way down, that's Livingston Tower. That's where the processional course usually taking place, but also clearing usually take place in that building as well. And if you go down that way, so basically this area is the whole Strathclyde. I'll show you in a minute from the other angle. Yeah, so, and 10 minutes walk, I'd say, from our uni to here, that's a Queen Street station. I think it takes about 10 maximum for me. I walk really fast, so it doesn't even take me that long. And then we do have another station which is called Glasgow Central, and that would have direct train from Glasgow, take you all the way down to Manchester and to London. And to London it only takes like 4 hours and a half, which is great. And also, like, if you keep walking down that way, keep walking this way, yeah, and then you see, so basically that's where the shopping center is. So it's just very, very convenient. I'm sure if you do have any more questions about that, Alexandra, we have a lot more to say. She's lived in here for like 3 years now. And then again, like Glasgow, it's been voted for like, the top popular cities for tourism in various of different magazines and tourist guide and etc. And it's just, I think just Glasgow people are very friendly as well, so it's just a great place to come and to experience if you do have time. But I think also is that what I also like to say is because Glasgow, it's on the west side of Scotland, so it's a lot closer compared to Edinburgh, to go to the Highland. I'm sure the Highland is famous for its scenery, and then it's also famous place for a lot of film scenes, like the Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, 007, yeah, all of the very famous movies. They do have a few scenes and that's filmed in Glasgow. But also Batgirl and also the Flash movie Flash movie. I think it was actually out last year. And then so it's the Flash, I don't know if you're a Marvel fan, but Flash is used to be the TV series. They've made the first new movie called The Flash, and then that was actually filmed in City Centre in George Square. I remember it clearly because it was one of the lunchtime. I was actually there. I saw one of the scenes. They were drifting from the Costa down around the corner. Yeah, which was really, really cool. It was so much going on in Glasgow. And then I think another thing I like Glasgow is just the character of of the city itself. You can really see a lot of trace of it, and then you see the history in it, and then but also it's still a big city that has that vibe. You know, also the hustle and bustle you can experience as in the big city, but as not as fast or not as too rushed. Like I always feel that in London. I've actually just got back from London last night, 12 o'clock. So yeah, so I just feel like yeah, I like London, but I can't stay there for too long. I mean, London is great, but it's not for everybody. So if you are looking a place where you still get the city centre kind of vibe, but then trying to slow down a bit, and then, you know, have a good balance of study or life or work or whatever, and then I think Glasgow is great for you. And the weather, okay, weather-wise, sometimes I feel like we're warmer than London, but obviously, I have to be honest, sometimes London do feel like warmer than Glasgow. I mean, the thing is, because we're an island, yeah, so it's not going to be a huge difference compared to some countries like China, for example, like, you know, north and south, you have such a big temperature difference, whereas in the UK, you just don't get that because the country is not big enough to have like different seasons, so different climates. But however, saying that, so for the statistics, if you look at it, so I think average we are 2 degrees lower than, you know, sort of colder than London at the same time of the year. So don't worry about it if you come to Glasgow and then you to us and then it's feel like, oh, winter time, how am I going to do it? We're in the city, okay, so one big coat will help you, will survive the winter time, so don't worry about it. You don't need two. And then for the subject areas, like I said, we have 4 faculties. Okay, we have business school, we have a faculty of humanities and social science, and we have engineering faculty. Also, we have science faculty. We don't have medicine, but we do have biomedical science or pharmacy. Yeah. And so let me talk about each one of them briefly, and then also the ranking. But I'm not going to read them all out because you all can see it. So the business school, I've already mentioned a few, some like the highlights about it. So you do have accounting and finance was number 1 in the UK, but it's also good to know that it has been top 3 for the last decade. It's never really fallen out of, you know, the number top 3 or top 5, depends on the ranking. Again, depends on the ranking you look at. But also we're also the first one to have marketing as a department. Well, I know a lot of people, a lot of uni would have marketing as a course, however, but marketing as a department, I think we're one of the few to have that. And also business and management, we're number 5 in the UK, and then we also have human resource management, but also we have a lot of conversion courses as well. So if you are interested in conversion course, just in case someone don't know, it means a course that does not require a student to have prior knowledge about this course. So the prior existing knowledge about the course is not relevant. So as long as you have a degree in any discipline, and you will be able to apply for that. So that's what conversion course is. And then so we do have that for different areas. For example, we have MSc marketing, which is for a student who's never studied marketing before. Also, we also have computer science for a student has not studied a computer science before as well. So yeah, so we just have a wide range of different courses, but it just suits most of the needs of the students. So that was business school. And then now move on to the engineering faculty. So we have a really, really big engineering faculty, because so we have literally all the spectrum of engineering that you can have, and that includes marine engineering and also naval architecture. So I don't think many universities in the UK would have this marine engineering, probably only maximum a handful. Although we do have, the traditional EEE, excuse me, Triple E, mechanical or civil engineer, they're all great. And also our principals, his background is from Triple E, so we have a great connection, and not just for Triple E, honestly, obviously. We also have all the different engineering area, because he's also the chair of the Royal Engineering Academy. So we have a great network, and then the relations within the industry. And then so basically we get the students, we feed into the industry, and they really like the quality of our students, and we just keep this great circle going. And then so it's just a great opportunity for our students, as you can see from the pictures, where this is the mechanical engineering student. That's what they could do. They actually used to work have a project with F1, so Formula One team, to build a car, for example. And then I also know aerospace engineering, because one of our student ambassadors, she was in that course, and they were building like plane wings, which is all great. It feels awesome. And then it's not something you get to experience, every day. Yeah, so this is for engineering. And for Faculty of Humanities, Social Science, we have all this listed courses we offer. So and education school is actually in the number third in the UK, and it's the biggest in Scotland, because all of our, I think half of the Scottish teachers, or more than half, have either graduated from us for PDGE, or they've done their PDG and then came back to us to do further training, for their career. So we have a great connection with all the Scottish schools as well. So that's for education school. And we do have TESOL as well. So TESOL and intercultural communication, but also business translating and interpreting, but that course is mainly focused on business context. The last one is the Faculty of Science, where we have a really great pharmacy course, and also anything to do with biomedical science. A pharmacy course is particularly popular within Middle East, and sometimes I think Malaysian student is very popular in that area too. And it's extremely competitive, this course, the pharmacy course. And so basically, which means barely meet the minimum entry requirement for that course doesn't guarantee you to be able to accept it, just because of the competitiveness. And there will be interview. That's probably one of the few courses that for international students, and then it's got an interview process in it. It was actually only introduced in a couple of years back, and then just due to the competitiveness, and also what the course director wanted to see if the student is fit to be, the mindset, if it's fit for being a pharmacist or whatever, to get involved in this industry. And then again, so if you are thinking of applying for pharmacy, I really, really recommend you to apply as soon as possible. Because what happens is every year, it doesn't even last until clearing. So it's like, I think around about June, July time, and then it's usually just all full. Yeah, so just do apply when you can, just as soon as possible. And again, biomedical science, I've already mentioned that. Chemistry, computer science as well, which is actually the degree that Alexandra is currently doing, and she can talk more about that. Yeah, so basically, and then here there is just a summary for all the rankings that we had, and we have 7 programs ranked top in number 1 in the UK, and then top 5 of 24, and then again 40 programs that's top 20 in the UK. So hopefully there will be something that you're interested, but but if you can't see anything or are interested to know a bit more about it, you're welcome to contact either SE UK or myself. We're happy to help you further. In terms of how to apply for undergraduate, we do take we take the application via UCAS, and for postgraduate, we do accept the direct application towards our just on our website. There is, for each course, on the top right button, there is apply button where you can just click on it. and yeah, it will take you to the application page. And we do have January 2024 intake available for just PGT students. So I think because we're just, what date is today? Is it 20? Yeah, okay, so 28th of September. So we're nearly at the end of the September intake this year. And so if you are interested, you're welcome to, have a look at the January intake. Although I did say that's only for PGT. And if you Google it, if you go to our main website and if you search January intake at the search button, and you'll see the list, the first link will take you to the page where all the available list courses for January intake. Support network, again, we have study guidance. We have also a lot of financial guidance as well, the advice and have the scholarships for students, and also career service as well. So our career service, you can actually use it for like 5 years after you graduated. And also we have disability and well-being service. I think I mentioned it last time, but I also still wanted to mention it again, just like for just a good example is we actually had a breakfast. We offered breakfast at the exam period for students. That was a free breakfast and a coffee for every student. And yeah, so that's one of the things, initiative that we did for students, which was very welcomely received by our students. And then for this one, the graduate careers, I think I did mention it a bit, is the Scottish, especially the Scottish Graduate Fair is one of the largest one in Scotland, and is usually held by us, and then it usually is in that TIC building, so Technology and Innovation Centre. For students who does undergraduate with us, you do have the opportunity to study either 1 or 2 semesters in another university, depending on your course and depending on the opportunity and also the availability at that time. And so you don't need to speak that language. So I think it's just English. And then I think it's usually between year 2 and year 3. But obviously you will be given all the instructions from your school and from your department when it comes to that time. So the next one, so that's just a map of the uni, and as you can see, all the blue ones are the building, so it's the building of the uni, and all these yellow dots are where the accommodation is. So the number 11, so this area are all the undergraduate accommodation. So undergraduate accommodation, so for undergraduate who study the undergraduate course for the first year with us, you do get the priority to be given the on-campus accommodation, but also you do get to have the gym membership the first year for free and during term time, so which is great. And then the price range range from like £105 to about £150 ish, something like that. And then the price varies depending on the type of the accommodation that you wanted to either but all of them are going to be single room, single bedroom, but either you'll be having the shared if you're going to have a wash basin in your room, or sometimes you can have an ensuite, or sometimes a studio. So it really depends how much you want to pay for. But we do have different options to cater your need. This is just an map from another angle. So that's a student accommodation, and that's science faculty, business school, sports center, and then library. So so you can see everything is very, very close. And then that engineering is there, and science, another bit of the science. So now just some pictures to show you now. So this is the building that was actually the building that we used when the university was founded. So we're still using at the moment. So it's been 250 years old. And then Faculty of Science, that's a building. And then that's the front of the business school. Business school was actually renovated in 2015, I think. So again, it was all the black and red theme inside the whole building. That's a business school. And this is another angle for the Technology and Innovation Center and the Sport Center, the main entrance. So here is the area where we have all the, the equipment, like the treadmills and then, the run machines and everything. And then so if you go around about there, that's all the weights area where, yeah, it was like 60 kilos, dumbbells, what's it called again? Yeah, the thing, I'm sure you know what I mean. Yeah, 60 kilos. I was just managed to lift it. But it was quite fun. But yeah, that's one of my favorite places in the uni. And then that's the learning and teaching building that was opened up 2 years ago. And then yes, student accommodation, we do have a lot of green areas as well. Little stream, and this is the graduation place where you will be attending your graduation ceremony. Yeah. So that is the end of my presentation, and I can see there are some questions. I'm going to stop sharing now. Okay. Shall we go through the questions now then? Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sherry.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions that I have compiled, and if any student wants to ask any questions, they can just unmute their mic and ask directly. So the first question is, hello, ma'am, any scholarship available for masters in electrical engineering? And then the second thing that they have mentioned is my GPA is 3.71 out of 4.
Yeah, I think I can't, let me just think, because it's not been finalized, and the scholarship for next intake for September 2024 it's not been finalized, but from experience they usually do have some sort of scholarship. Either I think you would talk about around about 15% off your tuition fee, if that's just give you a general idea. But you do I'll try to find you the scholarship website. Oh, that's actually it. Yeah, this one. Can everyone see that? Yeah, so I think, yeah, so that's basically the scholarship database you will be accessing to, and then trying to find it. But I think, yeah, generally you're talking about 15% or 10 to 15%, depends on your grade. But obviously 3.7 out of 4 is a great GPA, so I'm sure there'll be something for you.
Give me a second. Yes, so I think the next question, maybe Alexandra can respond to that. So how is living in the university accommodations like?
So I actually lived in student accommodation for my first 2 years of uni. And for me, it has been a great experience, especially because I didn't know anyone in Scotland when I first came. So I got along really well with my flatmates, and then we actually remained friends. We're still friends right now. So yeah, I think if you're considering living in student accommodation, it's probably the best option to make friends at the beginning.
Yep, thank you, Alexandra. I am just gonna read the next questions as well. So I think this is a very basic question. How many lectures do students need to attend per week?
So for international students, I mean, it really depends on your course, but international students actually have to attend their lectures because attendance is being taken, and you could lose your visa if you don't attend your courses. But I would say probably like 10, 12 hours a week of lectures. Usually, at least that's in my case. But yeah, it really depends on how many courses you have. Like this year, for example, I only have two classes each semester because I'm doing my final project. So I only have like 8 hours of lectures a week.
Sure. The next question is, do students get any discounts around the city?
Oh yeah, lots of discounts. You can basically get a discount at any shop. And if they don't advertise that they're giving out discounts for students, you can just ask. And most of the time they're giving like 10, 15 or 20% discounts for students, which is great. I'm really gonna miss that after I graduate.
The next question is, what are the placement opportunities we get after graduating?
So there are a lot of graduate schemes that you can go to after you graduate, but also you can do internships, like after your third year or second year of studies. That's what I've done. And it's a really great way to get a job after uni before you even start your last year of university, because usually companies offer a graduate role to any interns that they had the previous summer. So if you're interested in tech or finance, we have like the really big banks in Glasgow, like JP Morgan, Barclays, Morgan Stanley. Scottish Power is also like based in Glasgow, and they offer really great internships as well. And all internships are paid, so you also make some good money during the summer.
So, the next question is, do you have any university part-time jobs?
Yes, I actually have like multiple ones. So the university actually offers a lot of opportunities for students to work. So I'm a student ambassador. So for that, I'm doing like campus tours, events like this one. And I also work part-time at the student union. And for that, I'm just like in the student engagement team. So I'm helping like societies, organizing events, do things with the union, different campaigns and things like that. So it's I would say like the jobs that I'm doing are really fun, and I can also fit them really well around my studies, because like the schedule is flexible and you can choose when you want to work and how much availability do you have. So and also
Sure.
like the pay at the university is really good. Like they're paying around like 11 pounds, I think, for every hour that you work.
Yeah.
The next question is, how can we apply for scholarships?
I'll answer this one. So apply for, again, scholarships. Our scholarships are very different because a lot of them will be faculty scholarship, which means every scholarship is kind of different in terms of how you can apply, who you applying to, if you need to make an application or if it's automatic, and how much is it, what's the deadline. Okay, so everything depends. So again, what you need to do is what we like the link I just sent to everybody in the chat box just now. So once you find the scholarship that's suitable for you, for example, if it's postgraduate taught, and then you click on that, that will tell you all the information, like when to apply, how to apply, what's the amount, what's the reviewing process, and then when would you get notified, and who to contact if you have any problem. So it will be listed all under each scholarship. So that'll be very, very clear. So, but I think it's a bit early at this time of the year, because like you say, because everything is not finalized. Usually scholarships that will be finalized during, I don't know, after Christmas. So I think around about in February, March time, something like that. Yeah, so we'll have more information about the scholarship for next year. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is, what are the requirements for international students? How many points do we have in IELTS test?
For IELTS, I'll just give you a general guideline. For postgraduate, we're looking for overall 6.5 on IELTS, and then no element below 5.5. For undergraduates, usually 6 for overall, and then no element below 5.5. However, we do have some courses that have higher entry requirement. But for example, TESOL, which you will be given, you will be known on your, it will be saying on your offer letter. But generally, it's 6.5 for postgraduate and 6 for undergraduate.
Yeah, thank you. So there's a question. Good day. Is there any way of participating to the scholarship for free?
I
Um,
didn't. I think
any-
my understanding is that do they mean if you have free, like full scholarship? Is that what it means?
Yeah, I think that's what the student means. Student, if you are there, can you just okay.
Okay, no,
Yes, yeah, okay.
no, sorry. The question is no, we don't have
Yeah.
full scholarship, and no.
Mm.
Unless,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking for postgraduate, sorry, not postgraduate, PhD, sometimes you might get the funding, but then this really depends on what is your research area, and then it depends on your supervisors, the research background, and also how much funding he has and how much he's willing to give it to you. So I think it really just depends on your supervisor, but that's for postgraduate, sorry, I keep saying that, it's for PhD student. For postgraduate taught, we don't have any full scholarship at all.
Thank you. And then we have another question. How much is the tuition fees for bachelor's in international relations?
International relation, on top of my head, I think 15 grand for bachelor's. Yeah, I think because that's the similar amount for all undergraduate courses. I'm just trying to find it. So if it's politics and international relations, the fee, oh, sorry, 17,400. It's the same. I think it's the same for all bachelors, because I was looking at this yesterday as well. Yeah, so it looks like it's across the whole university, or most of them, undergraduate course for them every year for international student will be £17,400 per year. Okay.
The next question is, hi, I'm graduated in MSc Oil and Gas Management and want to do PhD. I'm a home student.
And live in London.
London.
Home, for PhD student, I'm just gonna give you my colleague's Gordon's email address, because he will have more information about like what supervisor supervising what sort of area in the research area. Yeah, so it's better for you to contact him to get some more specific information just for PhD. And yeah, he will be also having information about fundings and everything as well. So
Could you send me the detail, please?
I'm doing it now, just bear with me. Okay.
Should I put my email address?
So that's his email address. You can just email Gordon. Yeah, he'll be, but I think he's on a trip at the moment, so it might be some delay, but just he's the one to contact. But we might need you to have your proposal for your PhD though.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay,
already.
That's fine. Yeah, just email it to him, and he'll be able to help you to see which supervisor could potentially take this on, and also he will give you some information about the supervisors, but you need to do some research yourself as well to see which one suits you, and then you need to then email the supervisor. But anyway, he will lead you the way. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then we have the next question. Is there any language courses? I mean, for learning English, as you know, it might be hard to find in the US community colleges.
I'm not too sure about the US community colleges, to be honest, but we do have in-sessional English course that's for students who wanted to improve their English while they're studying here. I don't know if Alexandra, have you been involved with these?
No, I haven't, but I heard of them. Like, I think some of them are actually free, or you get like a couple.
It is free. Yeah, I think we have pre-sessional and in-sessional. Yeah, so pre-sessional is for students who did not meet the English and entry requirement, and then they have to do a pre-sessional course, and then once they complete their pre-sessional course, they can join us. Yeah, but for in-sessional English courses, students who already met the entry requirement, but this course is mainly to help students to improve their writing style specifically, like, you know, obviously to help you with listening or speaking if you wish, but also a good, really good part that I found very, very helpful is to help you with your academic writing style, because a lot of the time when you think, her English is good, but when it comes to writing an academic style assignment, it's totally different. I'm sure Alexandra would agree with me. Yeah, because you can speak, it doesn't mean you can write a paper properly. So I would really recommend you that any international student who even, you know, you got a really high grade in IELTS, but still attend this one, because it tells you how to write an academic research paper in a very academic way, because that's what you will need for any of your assignments. And even if you want to do PhD, and then that's the skill that it will be benefit for you forever. And yeah, so hopefully that answered your question.
Yep. If you do not meet the minimum requirement CGPA for masters but have a strong relevant work experience, could you consider for admission? I'm interested in MSc Systems Engineering Management program.
It depends on how far off you are to the entry requirement. And also the CGPA, we need to look at this way, because sometimes it's graded by average for all the courses, but sometimes what we're also looking at is the specific module that's relevant to the course you applied for. We have a look at the specific modules, and if the grades are okay, and then together with the relevant working experience, yes, so it's possible to be considered, but it's on a case-by-case basis. We need to see your whole application as a whole. I can only tell you, we don't just simply reject students because their GPA didn't meet. Instead, we will be looking at the whole portfolio. That's why until you submitted the full application, I cannot guarantee any, you know, decision, but we will be looking at them on a case-by-case basis. Hope that's okay.
Hi, I am interested in MSc in Information Technology. What are the requirements?
What do you mean the requirements for what? For academic or for English? And then also this depends on which country you're from and what qualification you did. So yes, I think I need more information on that. Otherwise, I don't really know how to answer that question. Yeah, but English wise, I already said it's usually just for MSc 6.5 and 5.5. Information technology is within the science faculty, isn't it, Alexandra? I think.
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But I actually have a question for Alexandra. Do you have any modules that's to, you know, not within your own faculty, like which classes you have to, you know, have it with students from other faculties, for example? Do you have any modules?
In first year, I had a business class in my first semester. It was
okay, even if you're studying computer science.
Yeah, because it was a business and technology class, so it was related to technology, but it was a business class.
Okay.
And then you can also have optionals. And again, you can choose like from optionals from other faculties as long as you have the requirements for those. I know in my fourth year, I could have done a marketing class, but yeah, I didn't choose that. But yeah, I had options to do
so
that.
Did you have to apply to do that class?
Yeah, so when you pick your courses, you basically can look at the whole course list with codes and like the syllabus and what the class is about, and then you pick them, and then your advisor tells you if you can do them or not. And you can also see like some courses would say, oh, you need to have done like this class before you can attend this one. So,
oh, right. Okay. Oh, but that's good to know. You still get the chance to do the marketing class as well. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, oh, it's really interesting. Okay.
Okay, I'll just go and ask you the next question. If I'll apply for the university, I'll need the pre-session English course, and that's a question.
It depends on how much you get for your IELTS, and because all the pre-sessional course has a difference in length, and it depends on which course you apply. So what's the entry requirement? So if, for example, if the degree you applied is the entry requirement for IELTS is 6.5, and if you achieve 5.5, and then I can't remember at the top of my head, but there's a list of how long you need to do for the pre-sessional, and then also the entry requirement is very clear. And then so that's overall, because for example, if you overall you got 5.5 and then the lowest is 5, you need to do, for example, 12 weeks, for example. I can't remember because there's too many different variations. But if you got 6 overall and then 5.5 the lowest, and then you do like a shorter length. So it really depends on your existing IELTS score. What are they? And then I can have a look for you. But at the moment it's just it depends on the grades you've already got for IELTS.
Hope that answers the question, student.
Yeah.
The next question is, in order to finish MS degree, should a student publish paper?
No, you don't need to. You don't need to publish it, but you will need a dissertation at the end to, to get the credit, to get the degree, to get the master degree.
Yeah. Oyuna, you've asked how about PhD. Can you elaborate the question? Oyuna?
Hello,
Hello.
I'm from Mongolia.
Yeah.
And how about the PhD? How many papers should publish in order to finish the PhD?
I don't know. And also that depends on what area you want to research. That depends on your supervisor. PhD, it's got a lot to do agreement between you and your supervisor. And then I think it's a panel decision for your PhD. And then if you're satisfied to graduate or not. So a PhD is different from a postgraduate or an undergraduate course where you pass your exam and you graduate. PhD, you have to speak to your supervisor. So it's a bit a long process. You need to find your supervisor first in the same area, and then you need to speak to him. So unfortunately, I can't really give you the answer now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but again, you can also contact Gordon. The email I just sent in the group, in the chat box. Yeah, so because he needs to know what your research area will be, like if you got a proposal or if you get any relevant working experience or everything, and that will massively help with a PhD search for supervisor. Okay.
One more question. For PhDs, there are age limits?
No.
Even the master degree age limit?
Age limit? No. There's no age limit for that.
Thank you.
No problem.
Now we have one more question. For the pre-sessional English course, how much is the cost of the course?
I think average you're talking. Oh, actually, I can't remember. I think for 4 weeks it's about £1,500. So but it depends on the length again. I think usually if it's about £400 a month, something like that, if you average down. But the longer the pre-sessional course, the average cost is slightly cheaper. And again, it depends on your IELTS grade. And then if you have your IELTS grade, if you didn't meet the entry requirement, then I can have a look on for you. But it's also very easy to have a look online too, to search for that list. Okay.
Thank you, Sherry. Students, if you have any other further questions, can you please unmute your mic and ask? We have last 6 minutes of the session left, so I don't want any student to miss any questions.
I think I also wanted to know, to ask Alexandra, is that how do you find computer science for your course? I don't think I've ever asked your whole experience about it. How do you like it?
My experience has been really great. I really like that after we learn the theory that we need to know, we do something practical where we have to apply the theory. And that has been really useful for like jobs, because I had like a bit of work experience by doing the university project. So I had things that I could talk about during interviews. What I also like is that the lecturers, they're all really helpful and friendly, and they always want to answer your questions and invite you to come to the open hours where you can have like one-on-one meetings and discuss anything that you didn't get from the class. So that has been really useful as well. And I feel like we also have the opportunity to use a lot of new technologies if we choose to. So for example, like last year, I've done an app in React, and I know a lot of other universities in the UK where my friends go to, they didn't do anything like that because their university is more focused on just like learning the theory, but doing nothing practical because there is no time to do anything practical. So yeah, I think Strathclyde is really great for that.
How many international students do you have in your class though?
I don't really know the exact number, but we're 150 students in my class. But I would say like at least like 50 of us are international.
That's actually quite a lot for computer science. Yeah.
And have you like joined any societies in your university?
Yeah, so I was in a lot of societies. I was in the coding societies, Women in Tech, board game society, and right now I'm just in the book club and in the travel society. And the travel society is actually really great because we do trips inside of Scotland, but also international trips in Europe. So
oh, that's nice.
Do they organize?
Yeah,
go ahead.
They organize everything, and then they make an itinerary, and then you just have to pay. And a lot of the times the pay is actually like really low because they get like sponsorships and they apply for grants from the union, and the union also aids with costs and things like that.
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't even know that.
And how many places have you been as of now?
So I've been to Copenhagen, and there's actually another Copenhagen trip next month, but I've been last year. And then we're going this Saturday, we're going to the Isle of Arran, which is going to be pretty fun. And yeah, these are the only two trips that I signed up for, but they've also done like a trip to Bulgaria, and they're planning to do a trip in Prague in November, the end of November, when the Christmas markets open.
Wow, it makes me want to join Strathclyde and then just join the travel society. It's really
so do I.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting to know. Thank you so much, Alexandra. Yeah, so I mean, I that's why I like to have our student ambassadors. I think you always learn from the students because ultimately it's in the uni, it's for students themselves, and it's just good to hear from the students themselves to exactly how they feel, what they did, and then if they like it. So thank you. And I think there's one more question. Yeah. Okay, so for the WASI, we for a decade, different research. Okay, so for WASI, if it's just the qualification on its own, we don't accept it for direct entry. So when I say direct entry, it's like undergraduate entry, we don't accept it, so you have to do a foundation. However, you have worked in the Medical Research Council for a decade, so that's a long time for working experience. So I'm not too sure, to be honest, because usually we wouldn't be accepting this for undergraduate, but because of the work experience, I think it needs to be assessed individually. So I can't really give you a definite answer for the requirement for entry. So if you don't have a university degree, so I feels like you might have to do start from the undergraduate, but I don't know how. I'm not too sure how this will apply in terms of admission. So I think the best thing to do is if you could send on your documents to either to SA UK or to me, and I can ask them for you. But I'm not too sure. I don't think I've had any experience with this, like who doesn't have a university degree but have a decent amount of working experience. But also this depends on which course you want to apply as well. Are you trying to apply for something similar to your, like the same area with what you've been working with, or you want to do marketing, for example, like business? So yeah, so I need to know more background about that. Okay.
Students, if you have any other further questions, please do join us in the next session. That's going to be on the 3rd of October. And Alexandra is also going to join us as well. So please do keep your questions ready as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Alexandra.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Alexandra. Thank you, Shakun.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, whoops. Okay. I was going to say that is fine. How do you get in touch? I think if Shakun, you can just take that one forward.